a few individuals and let you go ahead, build your development, and we find we solve our own problems, basically. Why should we burden you with it?
Well, I kind of see where this conversation is going. I want to try to redirect it here because I don't think it's moving in a direction that's going to help us get to where we need to be tonight. I don't want to argue about the number of failed systems on Salford Station Road. I don't want that to be a discussion tonight. I think there are problems. And I don't think we've had enough discussions where people are fighting about who's failed and who's not failed. We're here to try to look at this plan and make a decision about whether or not this board, this commission, supports the applicant's request for variances. Here you would ask me before I bring it forward to give you an idea of what alternate solutions were. And I was trying to do that, and rightly so, and chided you. You switched it very quickly back to grinder pumps. So we were talking about what you could do on the Schmidt parcel, as opposed to perhaps leaving it open. There are ideas of, let's say, maybe developing it for the 9 lots and recouping some of your costs. There is the option of perhaps recouping some of your costs through future tie-ins. There certainly, in my mind, needs to be an accounting by our township about your $300,000 estimate to do your excavation work. So I see there's enough fat wiggle room in there where we could probably keep your property to its 46, or heck, if you need the 48 back again to make it work, that's something to talk about. And make this all work. Now, that being said, the elephant in the room that nobody seems to want to talk about, everybody wants to, is even when we have a pumping station there at the bottom of Salford Station Road, it was still going to take another $325,000 estimated, 2013 estimated dollars, that we all saw in a presentation that was made here in this building back in January of this year, $325,000 to connect the 10 or so homes that are reported in our 537 plan that need some relief in that area. What we're talking to tonight does not change that. I just want everybody to be clear about that. This is not a panacea that all of a sudden those homes are going to have relief. We don't have money in our sewer budget currently to finance that type of extension. So what are the options for the township? If DEP comes in tomorrow and says you need to sewer those homes, we would have to do a benefit assessment. Am I wrong, Ernie?
Yes.
I am wrong?
No. You would have to do the way you worded your question.
I know. I just want everybody to have, I'm not stating a preference, but I think everybody needs to have a clear understanding of the dynamics here.
At the same time, the benefit assessment is not the value of building a project and giving that as a benefit. There's always a bit of negotiation with the benefit assessment. And I said it before a meeting, nobody that has a sewer authority or on our township where you have the board of supervisors administering the sewer, do you come out with an absolute that a benefit assessment is some ridiculous number. You look at ways of financing that, dovetailing it in with the cost of your project, so that your customers are not gouged.
Sure.
At the same time, they have to pay a benefit assessment, which is a number that is established at that time.
But you would obviously be looking for outside funding in terms of grants, just like we talked about earlier this evening, to make that happen. But on top of whatever that would be, if you want to do the math and then divide it by the number of homes, yeah, worst case, it looks like that could be, $30,000. You have to add in the tap-in fee and then the plumber's connection, so you can add another $15 to that.
Well, there is another DCED grant, I think I shared with the planning commission and the board of supervisors.
Right, but I don't want to go in that direction.
Okay, but
Yeah, we
My
don't-
point is, I just wanted to let everybody know what the state of affairs are.
That's only a 15% match for
Yeah.
projects under, more than 30,000 and less than 500,000. And that's only a 15,000 match, so it would be an expenditure of the township of $26,400 to fix the sewers on Sewersville and to utilize the low pressure and gravity option on South Station in Schwank, tying in Melbourne at Arcadia Station is $67,600 expenditure to the township.
So,
If you would utilize that additional DCED grant, the small water and sanitary sewer grant.
so, you know, if I had to redo my sand mound at home, I'm looking at what?
35,000.
35,000. So your cost to residents could be like, they would have to replace a sand mound. If you just do a straight, you know, benefit assessment, didn't try to get any grants, I don't think that's the way that would happen. Jerry, let me finish. Okay, just so I can get through this. So my question to you then, is there room to think about doing something on Salford Station Road with that parcel that will bring some money back to you?
So I was hearing you speak, and one thing I was thinking about is the $300,000 to take a line further up Salford Station. We would be willing to do that. Again, you know, you're not going to like the answer of more density, but everything
No,
does. Yeah, correct.
Nowhere in our 537 plan does it say we have to change our zoning to make these sewers happen. It talks about different sewer districts, it talks about benefit assessments.
Absolutely. I'm just suggesting that as you're saying that would not be part of our solution, it could be part of our solution, and so that therefore we would be able to put that $300,000 line up Salford Station.
Sherry.
So I'd like clarity on the 100,000 gallon sewer system. Okay, would that still be built? And if not, because I don't think the township needs it, would that funding become available for other sewer projects? I'm understanding that was part of the conditional use, the condition of the application. Is that correct?
So my understanding, and forgive me, so I was involved kind of ancillary back in 2005. I think I might have come to maybe 2 or 3 meetings at the time. I wasn't the person that was really running the project for the builder at the time. That builder ended up losing the project in 2009. I don't work for them anymore. I haven't worked for them for about 10 years. And so I work for the people that own the property today. But to answer your question, at that time there was a number of developers that were coming together to build a sewer plant.
I understand what you said earlier, but the on the plan that you, not you and friends, not you and other developers, are responsible for 100,000 gallons. Is that correct?
I don't believe so, no.
Carol?
Yeah, true.
Okay, you're not lying, my friend. It's written in the
Yeah, sure.
It's what you signed off on.
And again,
All we're trying to do is hold you to what you signed off on. Let you do what you have permission to do.
yeah, and I want to be clear, everyone continues to say you. I did not sign.
It's
And
what
I want to be clear.
what the organization you're currently representing
No.
is accountable.
No, the people that I work for today have no affiliation.
But they're leveraging the agreement that they purchased when they acquired the land.
That's fair. Yeah.
This is what you have to live up to.
Yeah, I just want to be clear, yes.
You're not being clear, you're trying to obfuscate. I mean, so then, I go back to my question, I don't want, you just redirected what I asked you. Is there any room to think about the Schmidt parcel and what can be done there to recapture some of your costs?
No.
You're not willing to do anything other than to deed it to the township?
Like I said, I was suggesting that we, I was suggesting that we keep it open space and we move those homes over to Melbourne. I think developing and building homes on the Schmidt property doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're now building more infrastructure, roads, stormwater basins, and I don't see any benefit for that
Not to you, to us, it would be beneficial because we'd be back down to proper size lots instead of 6,000 square foot, would be up to 10,000 square foot.
Sure, yeah, I understand.
So it's not all about you, it's got to be about, you know, what the township has to. We're not in the business to make you guys profitable, we're in the business to make sure that our regulations, our planning, our zoning are all adhered to.
Yes, something else that I think, is also to be aware of is, there's a market available, right? So we wouldn't be here if people didn't want houses in Lower Frederick, right? There'd be no reason to propose a development if there was no market for it. And so part of that market is also, in our minds, is building what people want today.
Well, build it in the right zone. If you want to build houses at higher densities, go to the other zone.
And I'd like to just clarify something. In that same document that you have on the screen, on the next page, page 2, it's a continuing with condition number 1. You were only, or the developer was only required to allocate 40,000 gallons per day to the township. So, yes, at least a plant of 100,000 gallons was to be built, but the only payback for Frederick was going to be an additional $40,000, I mean 40,000 gallon capacity for future connections. So, you would always have to take whatever the cost of that plant would be as and by quarters. And that would be, I would think, what would meet that condition, and it would be, real life.
Jerry.
I got a question. How long do you have shipment contract?
6 hours.
Okay. So basically, how long ago did you present this 60-home plan to the board of supervisors?
We were in front of the supervisors a week or 2 ago.
So you were kind of passing off that these 60 homes were based on the Schmidt property, when that's not the case. Because you didn't have the Schmidt property 2 weeks ago when you put this plan in place.
That is correct. We were having conversations with the Schmidts.
But now you're passing off that you're basing the density of the 60 homes.
That was our
on the
intention.
Schmidt property.
Correct, that was our
But
intention.
you didn't have the property.
We didn't have it under contract.
And you only tried to buy the portion for the pumping station, but they wouldn't sell the whole property.
That's correct.
So you based the full density on buying the whole property when you only want to buy a portion?
No, we knew that at that time, that we were rebuying the entire thing. We were just negotiating an agreement, it was just a period of time.
So my understanding is you don't want the Schmidt property, you don't want to deal with other than doing what you need to do. The Schmidts don't want to sell you just a little postage stamp to put the pump. And recapture is not the preferred way of getting removing some of your
We would be happy to talk about recapture. My just assumption was that the township would rather not write us a check, at some point in the future, that the money would just go to the township at that point.
I don't know. I'm looking at all
Sure.
options, to be honest with you. So let's look at another option that you mentioned. I'm sorry.
I asked a question some time ago about the 100,000 gallons. I asked it to the engineer, the conversation that's going on, and she hasn't gotten an opportunity to answer my question.
I'm sorry, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. I actually brought this up just to answer that question. The conditional use approval said that the public sewer plant would be built by TH Properties and/or Telford Landholdings. Telford Landholdings was the developer for what was called Parkside Development at the time, which was the Shahakami of Water Tracks. Does that answer the question?
I think the solicitor is the one who needs to give us guidance on that issue.
The first is to see what it says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then to ask our solicitor for guidance on the fact that they're not both there, both active participants anymore. What does that mean? And then in lieu of the fact that this development would not be any of that 100,000, okay, what does that mean?
I personally think that the fair thing to do is to give some accounting for that, maybe not the full accounting, but at least some accounting for that. But that's me, that's just junk at
A question, did the Schmidts give you an agreement of sale based on the contingency that the property would be kept preserved and would be restricted? So that was just an outright purchase that you have complete liberty to do. Thank you. George.
Okay, Ben, can I call you Ben? So I appreciate the fact that you're going to try to help the township out of this problem. And as Ms. Jansen stated, there's a cheaper solution. So Let's put that out there first. I appreciate that you're gonna try to do that. But as the engineer said, it's feasible that you can run all these houses, the 46 and a half houses, on gravity. And it's feasible for you to go down 29, right? And you're saying for $300,000. Right? Is that what I mean, that's what I heard. So you're already approved to do that, and you can do it gravity. Right? I mean, that's a win-win. So you really don't need to have to put a pumping station in for 1.4 million, I think you said that was?
900,000 for the pumping station, 1.3 for the top.
All right, but if you're doing gravity, you don't need to spend that extra money, right? Right? And you're already approved.
They're going to use the township rules to go pipes deeper than 20 feet.
There is no ordinance in our township about 22 foot.
Yeah, we tried to find it, I wish, maybe Ms. Schuler could help us out. What section is
I can go back and look at that, I don't have that off the top of my head.
I just,
Well, but there's sewers around that are deeper than that. I personally been in manholes 28 foot deep, so I mean, it's possible to be done. Is it the safest thing to do? Probably not, but they make sure in boxes, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, and you just have the one hump in 20 that's going to be that deep, right? I mean, I don't see any elevations on anything. I don't see a full set of prints on anything, you know, but I mean, you've got approval to build, right? Like that other parcel really shouldn't have anything to do with this parcel. It's not married, is it? I mean, it's only 6 hours old.
That's
Right.
correct, that's correct.
Okay, so we shouldn't really be talking about that parcel having anything to do with this development. I mean, at this point, right? It really doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, you have the subdivision plan on that already?
Necessary steps to achieve positive flow.
I can't read.
Your project to be managed down in front of the wall, so just,
What's the maximum depth? I can't read.
that's a good 20 feet right there.
Right there.
This is the deepest existing manhole right now.
And that's like, you know, no margin for error kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, this is your minimum slope all the way back from Wawa, going in front of the John Deere dealership, and also requiring, then I think your plan had acquisition of easements across the John Deere dealership and the other property to cut across to make this happen. So,
But you, Carol, you said that could be done, right? Earlier today, you just said that can be done. It's feasible.
there's already a.
Not only did she say it earlier today, but she signed
Well,
it.
it's a shallower line, I get that, but it is something that can be accomplished.
So another option you talked about in one of our meetings over the last year, before we talked about grinder pumps, you said something about just putting a pump station on your property and be done with it. I would assume that if you did that, you could service all your lots with one pump station.
Correct.
Personally, I don't think having individual grinder pumps is the precedent to be setting for this township for new development. For a multitude of reasons which I won't get into. So what if we looked at an option where you do a pump station, I don't know where that would be, down in the lower corner there? So you do a pump station, and then we do some math, and we figure out what the savings is based on some mutually agreed upon value of what you have commitments for now, and what can give you relief from. And then that money is applied toward an expansion that happens on Salford Station Road up to those homes. Is that an option?
I guess I'm open to anything. I have to look at that math, and we have to be very specific what exactly you're talking about.
Because if we're only talking about dealing with 10 to 20 homes that have compromised systems, in that area. And based on what I've seen in our 537, based on me walking around, based on everything that I've looked at, we're in that ballpark. There are other ways of sewering that, other than a conventional gravity sewer, that are much less expensive. And I'm not necessarily talking about grinder pumps pushing 3,000 feet. I don't think that's a good option either. But what I'm challenging this township to do is to perhaps think out of the box how we can service those homes and still let you do what you need to do, but that we get some benefit from you because we're giving you a cost saving by you not having to dig up 29. And however this other sewer plant thing gets resolved, and you pay some fraction of that can be agreed upon or negotiated at some point. But there are certainly a number of viable techniques that can be used to install a sewer line down Salford Station. Recognize that the elevation at the intersection of Schwenk and Salford is about 50 feet higher than down where your pump station is. So gravity actually works in our favor for a good amount of that. And if you don't have solids in the lines, then your scouring velocities, all those calculations change, and you have more options to make things work, especially if you're only dealing with the effluent. So one way you can solve this problem is by putting in a step type system where people's effluent, as opposed to getting pumped to a sand mound, gets pumped to a pipe that's in the road. Those pipes are usually small enough that they can be installed using directional boring or directional drilling techniques. They don't have to be done all that deep. We talked about it at length here. We had a guy down the road, in the main road, who installed 700 feet of a forced main, or lateral, depending on what you want to call it tonight, by himself. And he was able to afford that. Now we're looking at about 3,000 feet to service maybe 10 to 20 homes. So I see that should be an option that we should look at. What I also like about that option is we can fix those problems and not necessarily open up the rest of Salford Station Road to development. One of my questions is, if we install a gravity sewer there, where's it going to end? We had a woman come here last Thursday who was very upset. She lives on View Road, and she thought that someday a sewer is going to come by her house, and she's going to be forced to connect. So View Road comes off of Salford Station. She's on the corner. So if it were to come up Salford Station, you could make the argument she might be forced to connect someday. Now, personally, I think that's a long shot. But where's it going to end? You know, that's what a lot of people are concerned about. We all know it, and let's not pretend we don't know. Where you extend the sewers, the house is falling. That's been drilled in my head since day one, since I started all this planning stuff and building the courses. So those are some of the concerns that people have expressed to me. Whether all our planning commission people share the same concerns, they can speak for themselves. So I'm open to looking for ways to help people on Salford Station, Schwenk. I do believe that there are issues there, and I do believe that those are issues we should make every effort to try to help and solve. But I am not in favor of solving them in the way that you are proposing doing it.